Hi guys, welcome back to the Main Road Expedition. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we start off our new campaign with an away game against Bamber Bridge. We also have our transfer roundup today in what has been a very challenging window. Despite the fact that our rivals FC United got relegated last season, they have been very annoying, to be quite honest. 3 times we've gone in for players, 3 times they have won in the direct transfer challenge with us, and they have signed all 3 of these players. So very annoying, but we have managed to sign a few players, and we have managed to somewhat build up the squad again because we did let a few players go, as you are aware. So it certainly has been a little bit of a challenge. Um, in relation to the league this season, it's going to be a tough one, I think. As you can see, pre-season has not been too bad. We've held our own against some pretty strong sides. We lost against Macclesfield on the in our first friendly, and then we lost against Exeter as well. We did start managing to bring a few players in by this point, and we managed to get good wins against Asheville, Mickleover, and Manchester Gregorians. But then we beat Bolton Wanderers. Now, that was a big surprise. We played extremely well in that game, and you will notice that there's a couple of new names there as well. We followed it up with defeat against Wrexham, a draw against Chesterfield, and then we played 2 lower lower class teams as such, just to pick everything up again, and we won 5-1 in both of those games. So in relation to the league going forward for this season preview stipulates that we're going to finish in and around 12th place. Now, we were favourites for relegation last season. I think we've done really well, obviously finishing in the top half of the table. And if we can achieve that again this season, I think it'll just level us out a little bit. There was very brief talk of a takeover potentially with the supporters club. The news just completely dry washed that, so it was a non-starter. Unfortunately, we are really struggling financially, and it is constantly getting worse. £300,000 is now the debt, and yeah, we are extremely struggling right now. In terms of our wage budget, we are maxed out, and in fact, we're over budget by £1. So not ideal, really, but there's not really a lot we can do about it. In relation to the transfer window, again, it has been quite frustrating. Every single time we've gone in for somebody, all of a sudden, everyone else is interested in them. As you can see, we've brought in 5 players. I wanted more, but there is still a bit of time. Isaac Allen, I'm particularly pleased with. He is a goalkeeper. He's actually agreed a contract as a cup goalkeeper, but he's certainly capable of being our first team goalkeeper, depending on how things go. And originally, he was at Lincoln. He has had 1 appearance in League One. He was on loan at Basingstoke at a lower level last season, and he played very regularly. Didn't concede too many goals over 39 games, an average of a goal a game-ish. Got 11 clean sheets, so he will hopefully be a good option for us. James Collins came in up front. Obviously, everyone is a free transfer. Argentor and Sangare, they ended up both leaving. We just got rid of them early. I made the decision quite early on that they weren't going to stay. Unfortunately, they just weren't consistent enough. He's not the quickest, but he's not the slowest either. So pace-wise, he is better than Tor and Sangare. And finishing-wise, with composure, not too bad. Fairly determined character, good off-the-ball movement as well. And he's a good header of the ball. And at 5'11", yes, he's not going to be a massive aerial threat, but hopefully he will be able to grab some goals for us. Alfie Livermore came in, and he's very versatile. He can play across the midfield and across the attacking midfield areas. Good mental attributes, decent fitness, good amount of pace and stamina. He's 6'2", good passing, technique, first touch and dribbling ability. So he'll be very useful in the central midfield and out wide. So that was the main reason that we brought him in. Incidentally, James Collins has previously played at lower levels, but he has played in the Vanarama North. He managed to make a couple of appearances there, but other than that, he's just been dotting around lower leagues. And Alfie Livermore, previously of Blythe, in the Vanarama North, and he played every single game last season for them in the league. And, well, there or thereabouts. 34 substitute appearances and 12 starts last season, and the season before 26 sub appearances, 17 starts. So very much a regular first teamer at that level. So hopefully he will do well for us this season. We managed to get Luke Grimshaw in at centre back just for the extra cover again. Pace wise, he's very much the quickest centre back, and he's probably one of the strongest centre backs at the club. He isn't as tall as we normally go for. He's only a 6 foot. He's only 6 foot, but he's got good concentration. He's a good decision maker. Positioning is also very good, and with his marking and tackling abilities, heading does need work. But again, at the age of 21, he could improve, subject to facilities, of course, which we do not have. And he was previously at Wycombe on loan from Staley Bridge, who, of course, have been in our league. And he only made 10 appearances over 2 seasons, though, with Staley Bridge, which is a little bit of a concern, but he is going to be in and around the first team this season anyway. And literally a couple of days before the start of the campaign here, Lewis Spalding, we've gone in for him 2 or 3 times, and each time he wanted too much money. This time he has come in and he wanted a lot less than what he initially stated. So we've largely brought him in because he can play right back, left back, and centre back. He's not going to be necessarily a first teamer, but that extra cover that we've got in there will certainly prove useful. Good marking, good tackling. Positioning isn't the best, but he's a fairly determined character, good decision maker, high concentration, and natural fitness is good. Reasonably quick off the mark, but not quick when he gets going. So, with a decent stamina, he will certainly prove to be a good squad rotation option for us in the defence. So, all that being said, as you can see, the squad isn't at its biggest. It's probably one of the smallest squads we've actually had, and we've only got 20 players in the first team squad. Centre back, we're pretty well covered, as we are. I mean, fullbacks, we've got Keeling and Bates, who are going to be the first team, as Spalding is in there to cover both sides, really. Sanders, Gascoigne, Yusuf, and Jack Williams are going to be the central players, potentially with Livermore as well, with Thomas, Denawa, Amamiego, and again, Livermore and Norton out wide. And then in terms of our striking options, Mamiogo can play there, but we've got Jack Williams, Norton, Brunt, and Collins. So the versatility means that we've got the cover, which is ideal. Tactically, we have made a couple of changes as well. We've gone to a 4-2-3-1, but the way that we're going to work it is we're going to do a little bit of a crossover between the Gegenpress and the Route 1 style. So we've actually got a target forward there, leading the line. It's something I've not tried before, but we'll see how it works out. It seems to have done well in pre-season. We've got the central defenders and the keeper on the defensive side of things. We're going with wingers rather than inside forwards, but we've got that attacking midfielder in there, so the wingers can occupy those wide spaces and hopefully leave space for the attacking midfielder. The midfield pairing with the ball winning and box to box, it was how we were playing with the 4-4-2, and it seemed to work quite well. But with the added support going forward, hopefully it will do a little bit better. We've added work the ball into the box and playing for set pieces. We seemed to do really well last season with set pieces. And in terms of the actual counter and counter press stuff, yeah, we want to be a little bit quicker off the mark in pressing our opponents, but with distributing to target man, hopefully it will certainly work out higher up the pitch. We have lowered our defensive line with a mid block though, so we're not going to press quite as straight away as we would straight up in a gegenpress system. So we're not going to initiate it all the way up the pitch with the striker. We're going to initiate it around the midfield area. So hopefully it will work out well for us. And we'll just have to see how things go. So going into it, I'm not too sure what to expect where the league's concerned, but we will have to wait and see. And there will be a couple of debuts today, I think, as well. We've got McGee in goal with Spalding starting at left back, which is a bit of a strange choice, if you ask me. I would have thought that Keeling was going to start. Furtado, O'Connor, and Bates in there. Williams and Sanders, the midfield pairing with Amamiego, Livermore, and Norton as the three in behind new striker Collins. Isaac Allen is on the bench today, as is the new centre-back Grimshaw at the moment. Anyway, I think that's a little bit of a poor decision. Yusuf is suspended, Thomas is injured, but I think we'll get Keeling in there for probably for Grimshaw, just so that we've got that extra cover at fullback for today's match. In terms of actual player quality, we've not been able to do too well with it, but with two-star ability in all of those positions, at least we've got that consistency in there. Arguably, we are a little bit weaker than last season, potentially, but again, we're just going to have to see how we get on. With the lack of financial backing, we had the exact same wage budget as we had last season. And with, like I say, with the finances as they are, we are in dire straits, and we've just got to make do with what we can get, really. But going into this game, again, not too sure what to expect. Bamber Bridge had a good season last season, so we'll just see how we measure up to it, to be honest. Going from last season, obviously finishing in 8th place, 9th place maybe, I think it was actually. Certainly plenty to build on, but having this pressing system and hopefully we can be quite good off the mark in terms of the pressing, and fingers crossed we can get off to a good start. But straight away, Marsh hits the post, Bates as well to get it clear, and it's out for a throw. 1 minute in, and Bamber Bridge hitting the woodwork. Not the best of starts, it has to be said, but hopefully we can just bring ourselves into the game. But we have conceded a set piece here in a dangerous area. It's going to be Thomas to take. Swings in the free kick. It's another really good save by McGee. And we are very much up against it early on here. Not ideal. Bell to swing in the corner. In it comes. Can we get it away? We just about managed to. Here is Thomas. Now Smith. Green. Good interception by Spalding. He comes forward. We have got options in the midfield. Spalding trying to go alone. He didn't have enough support, really. And it remains 0-0, but Bamber Bridge very much in the ascendancy in these opening quarter of an hour. We finally had a shot at goal. Nothing coming of it, of course, for the time being, but it will take these new players a little bit of time to bed in. We've done all right in pre-season, and it's taken us a bit of time to warm into this game, but we've now had the same number of attempts at goal as Bamber Bridge. We just haven't had that shot on target yet, which, again, is something that we struggled with last season as well. Bates hit into Norton, back into Jack Bates. Plays it inside to O'Connor. Jack Williams holds on to it. Into Livermore. It's a good turn again. He just couldn't quite find Mamiego. Furtado lofting it forward looking for Collins. Jack Williams into Mamiego. Now Livermore. Potential opportunity to play it into the penalty area. He tried to square it. Mamiego brought down. No foul given. And now Sanders into Spalding. Can he swing it in? Yes, he can. Darren Norton at the far post, and it's just over. It was a well-worked move in the end, but we were just lacking that final touch there. Mamiego did get tripped up in the penalty area there. I thought there was a potential for a penalty. I'm guessing play on was initiated as we were still in a good attacking position. But a frustrating first half so far. Bamber Bridge have had the shots on target. Overall, the game has been reasonably even, though. We've had a number of attempts at goal, but just not got anywhere with it, unfortunately. Here is Savage. Into right for Bamber Bridge. Launches it forward, and it wasn't the best of deliveries from the fullback, was it? And McGee finds Spalding, who looks over the top. James Collins couldn't get onto it, but Livermore picks it up. Good play from Livermore, and again, just not able to find that killer pass, as we do manage to get it clear defensively, but Bamber Bridge recycling it very well. That's a great switch of play to this left-hand side for Sinclair now. And Bamber Bridge charging down the left, and Spalding, great covering from him. But we can't get it away. And Marsh into Bell, who was completely unmarked. Lewis Bell puts Bamber Bridge ahead. And it's been coming, unfortunately. It has been coming. And we're going to have a bit of a look at ourselves here. Furtado into Spalding. Again, looking over the top, and Collins was nowhere near it. They need to keep an eye on these passes, don't they? Sinclair switches the play again superbly, and this is Bell now. Spalding does well to close him down, but there's still nothing going our way, and Bell is in again, and he's hit the woodwork, and we can't get it away. We're absolutely fumbling our lines, and Green has scored. It was a very poor effort from Keegan Green, but McGee didn't see it until late, and by that point he was beaten. And that is game over from the way it's going so far. Possession-wise, we're not looking too bad, but no shots on target. It's not looking good here. And unfortunately, our new signings aren't covering themselves in glory either. Max Sanders, of course, played a part in that heavy defeat to Hyde in the last game of last season. And Livermore has done nothing in that attacking midfield, and Collins has been completely absent today. Not a good performance at all. And we finally had a shot on target, but there's not even a highlight for it. So it just shows how poor we are at the moment. Here is Powell into Smith. Now Savage. Launches it forward. We can't get the header clear, and Leverett picks it up. Looking for Marsh. Jack Bates did well to get onto it. Norton not challenging for the ball. It's cleared forward. Here is Sinclair, and he puts it wide. I mean, McGee didn't even try and save that. He must have been extremely confident, to be fair, but we need a bit more from the side, and I think that's what I'm going to say to them shortly. Here is Livermore into Jack Williams. Back into Livermore. It's a well-worked goal, to be fair, and Alfie Livermore has got a goal on his debut. It's a very nice finish, well worked with Jack Williams. And it's the first time we've looked really, really positive in our attacking play, to be fair. But it was a well-worked move. Livermore breaking through that defensive line with a 1-2 with Jack Williams. It was a nice pass from Jack Williams, in fact. And the finish into the bottom corner was very well placed. And we're back in it, very much against the run of play, to be fair. And we're just going to demand a little bit more now. We're back in it. Hopefully we can get something from this game now. 20 minutes to go. We are going to make a couple of substitutions, I think. Adewoji is going to come on for Furtado, who's struggling for his fitness, and he's on a yellow card. Joe Gascoigne is going to come on for the yellow carded Sanders, and Livermore's on a yellow card as well, in fact. So I think what we'll probably do is we'll take Livermore off, despite the fact he's just scored that goal, and we'll put Mamiego in the centre, I think. Will we? To be fair, Denoa rates better in the centre than Norton or Mamiego, so Denoa can play in behind for now. And that is going to be that. Our last throws of the dice for these last 20 minutes. And hopefully Denoa's direct running and pace can prove quite difficult for the opposition to handle in the centre of the pitch. It remains 2-1. Spalding here with a throw. Mamiego into Spalding, swings it in. Collins couldn't get there, but Norton does. And Popple got a touch onto it, but couldn't keep it out. And we've come back from 2-0 down here to be level at 2-2. And we've certainly shown some decent resolve here to get back into this game. And positive signs are definitely being shown from the side. Spalding with a lovely ball in, really. And Norton just getting enough on it to beat the goalkeeper. Popple almost making a very good save there. As Hoge into right, straight from kickoff, Bamber Bridge looking to get ahead again. This is Smith. Plays it back into Savage. Looks over the top. Marsh is unmarked. The centre-backs have completely left him alone. And it's well blocked by Jack Bates, and McGee managing to make the claim after the shot was blocked. Very lucky from our point of view. We're going to drop a... Oh, great. We're down to 10 men. Jack Bates has picked up an injury, which is not ideal at all. So what we're going to have to do is just put Spalding in at centre-back. Annoyingly. We'll put him in as a cover centre-back and hope for the best. I don't like using three at the back, and to be honest, we haven't got the defensive coverage to be able to do three at the back either. We've got 4 centre-backs in the squad, and having 3 at the back is not going to be something that stays possible. But being down to 10 men now does invite Bamber Bridge to put the pressure on, but we have held on for the 2-2 draw. Good performance from Livermore in the end. He got his goal, and he worked it well with Jack Williams, to be fair. But positives to be taken from it. We looked a little bit we look quite solid in the midfield. Obviously, we need to be a little bit quicker off the mark. The start of the game, we were shocking. Bamber Bridge really put the game to us. In terms of negatives, James Collins was not in the game at all, was he, up front? And it's something that we may have to manage carefully. That Norton getting a goal though, it's good to see him back in the side now that we've gone back to the attacking wingers because he's not a natural, just wide player. So he's better a little bit further forward. But a draw from our opening game, it could have been worse. Considering the way we started, it could have been a lot worse. And I'm quite happy to take the draw as it sits. There's going to be a lot of football to play in the coming couple of months at least because for whatever reason, it doesn't stretch it beyond the end of April for the whole season. So we've got a game like midweek every single week at the moment. What I'll probably do is we've got the Emirates FA Cup first qualifying round. It's a massively important game, really, and we will certainly be back for the FA Cup tie. We've got Chorley, Marina favourites to win the league, by the way. Bishop's Auckland and Radcliffe. I think we'll probably get those 4 games done off camera. Atherton Collieries will play at home, and then we'll have that FA Cup tie there. And hopefully we will have a positive outcome this season. Any financial gain is greatly rewarded, hopefully, because we need it. We are absolutely desperate. So FA Cup tie next week, and we will see what happens from there. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.